I was too young. I don't even remember Adam Clayton Powell. Adam Clayton Powell's before my time.
Well, I remember. And I met him.
You met Adam Clayton Powell?
And to this, I will never forget that.
I just remember listening to this audio book I got from the library called The King of the Cats, and it talked about the whole history of Adam Clayton Powell, which was fascinating. And Adam Clayton Powell was probably 3 or 4 shades lighter than yours truly.
Extremely.
He could pass for white, okay? And thought about it, but couldn't do it. But the thing about it, Adam Clayton Powell was of a different era. So here's this fair-skinned brother that could pass for white, who was more vocal than most of the Negroes out here right now, because that was a different era when you knew who you were. Now here's Barack, whose mom was white, which is one of the reasons why I think white folks like him, because his mom was white and he's race neutral. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, that's just a reality. But if Barack spoke, I know this is a different era. I know this is 2008 and they're not 1960s. I understand that. But Barack spoke like an Adam Clayton Powell with white folks like Barack Obama.
Well, first of all, Mark, I beg to differ at the idea that white people like Barack.
Ooh.
They don't fear Barack.
Ooh.
Every black man that it has potentially demonstrates the ability to come into power, white people instinctively fear him for fear of the fact that he's going to galvanize and look out for the interests of black people. Well, Barack doesn't give any indication whatsoever that he would do that. So that makes him more palatable. That makes him more acceptable. Whether he's going to do it or not, I cannot say. But I can tell you from the white people who have expressed it to me, whether they're honest or not, I believe them because I have spent some time engaging in a company with white people, that they do not fear him. And therefore they feel as though they can work with him. Yeah. As a matter of fact, they all of us recognize the fact that he bends over backwards to acknowledge or to behave in a way that's beyond neutral. Because getting back to the Castro statement, if he were going to be neutral, he could have just said, well, that marks the end of an era.
Right.
Which is factually correct.
He had to say something negative about Castro.
He had to put a negative spin on it to make sure he was placating to those individuals, primarily white, who are so anti-Castro. Right. And mainly anti-Castro because Castro refused to let white Cubans treat black Cubans like dogs. Yes. And so that should have been something that Barack heralded Castro for. So I'm of the belief that of course not, had he taken the posture that Adam Clayton Powell had taken as who he was. First of all, Adam Clayton Powell was so unique. I don't know who could be Adam Clayton Powell.
Not even in this era.
No,
come close.
No. Yeah. With all the support that an individual like that would get, even from white people, because whether we want to accept it or not, they may not have liked Adam Clayton Powell, but they respect it. And my question really is, do they respect Barack? Do they respect Barack? Or are they going along to ensure that they get somebody that they know who is malleable, who is somebody that will lean towards their interests? There are some other indications based on what he has said throughout his career and recently, and I will not quote them at this moment, to indicate that has signaled to everybody but black people, we don't seem to get it, that he is not going to be a problem.
That's right.
Just get me in. I'm going to bring everybody together. Well, who's all crying to be together? If white people really wanted to be together with black people, they wouldn't move every time black people moved into the community. If white people really wanted to be with black people, they wouldn't transfer their children out of the schools when black children are enrolled.
They still do that to this day.
That's right. Or
this day.
Change the standard.
That's right. To this very day.
Or the textbooks.
That's
so it ain't about, and they know that he does not, as the president only, have the ability to change policy, because you cannot legislate morality, which was stated many years ago by Kennedy and others, that in fact if people don't have the desire to be with other people, you can't make it the law. No. And every time each of these laws, these amendments have been placed on the Constitution, white people who feel strongly about their supremacy and their superiority have figured out a loophole as to how to deviate from the law, and I don't see them going to the penitentiary. No. So the point, and they have all not been just regular citizens, they have been leaders. Trent Locke never went. What's the man's name in South Carolina that died that has the black daughter? Anyway, who died? Thurman. He didn't go. And all these people we know are racist and white supremacists. So the point that I'm making is I would just suggest that we get out of this delusion of inclusion mindset. Not illusion, a delusion. And I think we have to stay focused on the fact that the people really are not going to determine the what this campaign is going to conclude at. We are engaging in an exercise to give the appearance that the electoral process does work in America, but it has been demonstrated to us that it doesn't. And my real concern and beef with us is we've had from 2000 to now to raise holy hell about that process. What safeguards have we put in place to ensure that that will not happen again? None, because if you look at go on the net now, you will see where they cheated black people out of the process in New York in the last election this year, in Washington, D.C. this year. Right. So every time we do participate, we still get ripped off. But none of the candidates, including Barack, are saying anything about it. Nobody is counting, but Cynthia McKinney is. And I only say that to say, what are the things that are working against us the most, and who is speaking up for us? And let's not be stupid about it. Let's not be stupid about it, because let the truth rest, to tell you the truth, and this is very controversial, but there's documentation to prove it. Barack would not be the first black president if he is elected. We've had 5 black presidents.